It is Friday, 6:48, your Sunrise Smart Start, and our top headlines, breaking updates overnight. Rochester firefighters were busy fighting a fire at a vacant home on Laser Street.
Yeah, despite the house being vacant, one person was rushed to the hospital. Aran Spitzer live in the studio now with more on what happened. Aran.
Yeah, guys, first and foremost, the condition of the victim is still unknown at this time. Firefighters at the scene unable to provide us with many details here, but calls for the fire came in at around 9:30 last night. The first fire truck arrived to the scene 3.5 minutes later. That's when they found smoke coming from inside the house, prompting a call for a structure fire response. Because the house was abandoned, firefighters had to rip off the wood used to board up the property. Once inside, they found one victim. Joseph Avenue near Pardee Street was also taped off. Now, although considered vacant, the home is now deemed uninhabitable. No other injuries were reported. The cause of the fire still very much under investigation. We will, of course, update you as we learn more on air and online at rochesterfirst.com. Guys.
Aran, thank you. We'll be taking a look at our forecast later. Want to give you a view now from our Greater Rock Sky Eye here on this Friday morning. Your sunrise traffic updates. Main expressways are moving along just fine in terms of any accidents or major slowdowns. One thing on our map is on the east side of Webster, State Road, Phillips Road. Accident reported there. Coming in from Webster, 104 crossing the Bay Bridge is moving along, showing up green on our map.
In other headlines, the Biden administration is optimistic that the fragile Israeli-Hamas ceasefire deal will take hold, setting the stage for the first hostages to be released Sunday.
The fighting, though, has continued in Gaza despite expectations of this break in the war, with Israeli airstrikes killing more than 80 Palestinians in the last 24 hours, according to officials with Hamas. The fighting would stop under the first 6-week phase of the agreement, and during that time, 33 hostages would be released in exchange for nearly 1,000 Palestinian prisoners.
I'll believe it when I see it. One of our biggest concerns is that once they start negotiating part 2, they will not reach an agreement and back to war.
I am so happy about the ceasefire because all of this are going to end. That's why I am so happy.
Israel's prime minister has convened a security cabinet meeting today to ratify that agreement.
Firefighters in Southern California making progress against the Palisades and Eaton fires, two of the largest ravaging the region. Thursday, some evacuated families and business owners were allowed to return to survey what's left. FEMA disaster recovery centers also helping those affected.
There's unprecedented security preps underway ahead of President-elect Donald Trump's second inauguration. That'll be midday Monday, and we can show you some of it from just 100 feet above. Pilots have been scanning the National Mall around the district, mapping out what's normal so they can then spot any radiological or nuclear irregularities, such as a dirty bomb. The U.S. Secret Service at its training facility in Maryland has been busy rehearsing for what's coming Monday. Some 25,000 law enforcement and military personnel will be safeguarding the inauguration, including nearly 8,000 National Guard troops authorized to protect the nation's capital and the 250,000 ticketed guests.
We feel very confident that we are going to provide a very secure environment.
We're going to see another peaceful transfer of power, which is what is so important to our country.
The swearing in is slated to begin at noon. You will see all that live here all day long in special reports on News 8.
Today, the Supreme Court may announce new opinions, including a possible ruling on that controversial TikTok ban. It comes 2 days before that ban is slated to take effect this weekend. Congress passed a law last April requiring the popular app to cut ties with its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, or the law would take effect Sunday, again, unless the High Court intervenes. The Rochester City School Board of Education is officially under new leadership and philosophy.
That is under Camille Simmons, appointed president earlier this month after a vote. She's been with the board in some capacity for more than 2 decades, remains focused as well on improving student success through increasing literary skills, teaching methods, and attendance. On that note, and just last month, more than 50% of RCSD's 22,000 kids were considered chronically absent. The search for a permanent superintendent remains ongoing. The interim super is Demario Strickland. Simmons also spoke to us about this $38 million gap in the district's budget, saying to handle that, they have to be extra careful when making decisions to make sure students still get a quality education.
Our students are not statistics and test scores, but they are viable children that deserve a beautiful, bright education. And so my vision for these children is that we focus on them and make sure that the decisions we make center them at all times.
Amy Malloy is now serving as well alongside Simmons. She's the new board VP.
Happening tonight, a very special game honoring our nation's heroes. The Amherst hosting Lehigh Valley for their military salute night at Blue Cross Arena. Rochester will wear the special jerseys inspired by the Marine Corps, as well as matching socks as a tribute to the armed forces. Those are going to be auctioned off after the game to benefit the Veterans Outreach Center here in Rochester. The Amherst also offering all of our veterans, retired, active duty, reserve, the National Guard service members. They get one free ticket to the game. Puck drop at 7:05.
Headlines out of the huddle. The last time Buffalo hosted Baltimore in the divisional round was the season in 2020. The Bills won that one 17-3. And out of that win, we all remember that one play that would end up carrying Buffalo to its first AFC title game appearance in 27 years. 4 years ago, here it is. Taron Johnson picking off Lamar Jackson in the third quarter. He ran it back 101 yards for the pick six. That was what sealed the game, something that might be motivation for Baltimore this time around. And here are the Bills reflecting on what they remember from that night.
I just remember him going up the sideline and T.Y. getting the block on Lamar. And it was crazy. Literally, he took it from out the end zone all the way to the other end zone. I mean, I just remember him just going up the sideline. It was a special moment, too.
There's very few things better as an offense than seeing a pick six, because you're, sitting down on the bench, watching the defense do their thing, getting warmed up, and then you watch them go score a touchdown, do our job for us. I'm like, okay, we get an extra break, and, we just put 7 on the board as a team. So that play was incredible.
Man, that was fun that night. Buffalo Kickoff Live back again tonight. Dad Brown and Company, full hour at 7. And then Sunday, brunch time, Old Reliable, 11:30. And then we do have to wait till Sunday night. Only one place you can see that game, Ravens at the Bills, kicking off at 6:30. All of our coverage, post-game as well. We'll do that a full hour around 10 o'clock. Whenever the game ends, Buffalo Post-Game Live. We did it, just about. It is Friday, but we made it to the weekend. Almost here. Yeah,
Love that for us.
Yeah.
And hey, so much warmer than what we've expected the last few days in the past. So take our wins.
Yeah, that's right. So boots worthy with the fresh snow that we got overnight. A few tenths of an inch. 31 in Greece, 30 in Henrietta. Webster also sitting at 31 degrees. Temperatures today generally holding there in the low to mid 30s. So we get a little bit of melting, some partial sun possible by lunchtime and into the afternoon. And then tomorrow, not the prettiest day. Rain, snow mixed through a lot of the day, holding in the mid 30s. And then here we go. Cold blast coming in Sunday and then into a lot of next week.
Tackle that when it gets here. Enjoy the long holiday weekend, everybody.
Have a great day.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, X, and on our app for news and weather.